Oh, I don't have my ears on. Yeet Cannon. Yeet Cannon is what this pistol is called. This is the Hi-Point Firearms YC-380. Curiously, and many of you TFBTV old timers out there know this story because I've told it 100 times, but the first interaction I ever had with Hi-Point Firearms was when I bought for $90 a 380, whatever they called it, like CF 380 or C3, whatever it was. I can't remember. But in any event, I buy one for $90 from an auction site. Going once, going twice, and... oh, yeah, Joe! Guns like 10, 11, 12 years old, something like that. TFBTV is a new channel at the time. I wanted to spend 90 bucks and thrash this thing and shit all over it, and then, you know, we could all, hey, you know, ha ha ha, look at this shitty gun, and I was gonna give the people what they wanted. I was sorely disappointed, and by sorely disappointed, I mean massively impressed. All in all, do I still hate this gun? Yes, absolutely, I hate this gun, it's a piece of shit. But it, you know, it fared well. I mean, guys, I threw it in a creek and I shot a full mag out of it. I'm pretty sure there's some guns that cost over $500 that couldn't even do that. So I guess props to the Hi-Point. I couldn't make it fail. I could not make it fail. Anyways, it started up this great relationship because Hi-Point said, look, we appreciate the fact that you're reviewing this gun, that you understand it's a very rudimentary, very simple design, right? It doesn't do anything super flashy. Capacity is not all that great. I mean, we're looking at the 380 here. I'm not sure that the 380 is any smaller or lighter than the 9mm. And I mean that. I think these guns might be the exact same size. So no, this isn't the flashiest company in the world, but you know what? They're affordable and they're reliable and they're good enough. And that's what I like about them. And I became fast friends with the guys at Hi-Point because they're good people. They listen to the viewers, they listen to the buyers, and they improve these guns. And that's what they did with the Yeet Cannon series. And you guys know that the Yeet Cannon, that originated from social media. They got Bodie McBoat-faced, right? They let you guys, they made the mistake. What a thing to do, Hi-Point, to let viewers decide what to call your gun. So they got stuck with YC, which stands for Yeet Cannon. The YC series, you're introducing a bunch of improvements. You've got better grip texture. You've got a larger double stack magazine. I mean, larger capacity. You've got better slide serrations, better aesthetics, better ergonomics, Picatinny rail, threaded barrel, the ability to mount an optic, swap sights out, whatever it is that you want to do. So there were a number of improvements. And what I'll do right now is I will cut in where I'm talking to my good buddy, Dave, from Hi-Point, guy I've known for years. You guys have seen him on the channel for years, one of my most favorite guests to have in the program, where he gives us the rundown of the 380 at SHOT Show 2024.
Standard, half 28 threaded barrel on all the guns. Front sight compatible with Glock front sights. Rear sight modular enough you can take it out and do a Picatinny rail plate or a direct optic plate for optic mounting. Whole new redesign of a slide, so it's a little grippier, a little better contour. Going down, standard for everybody else is a pick rail, whereas our guns didn't ever have them, so now you can mount your lights to it. More ergonomics, more grip texturing on the panels, grip safety, reversible back strap so you can flat it around it kind of like a Glock or 1911 style, just to give you your maximum comfort, still in a $200 gun.
Now that was just a copy at the show. We don't even know if it works. We're gonna take this one out to the range and we're gonna shoot it, but here's something that we're going to be aware of as we shoot it. If you remember, whenever we had the YC-9 series for the first time out here, after waiting years for the YC-9, it was not as reliable as the good old C9. We had some failures. The guys at Hi-Point saw the review. They said, hey, let's go back to the drawing board. Let's figure out what's going on with these guns. But we're gonna find out today on the range. Now guys, don't let this upset you, but you're not gonna believe this shit. At 7 yards.
What?
I didn't expect it to be that good, but there it was. And away we go. Does the trigger feel like shit? Indeed it does. But for whatever reason, it works. Some people say it's because of the fixed barrel. Some people say because this gun weighs as much as a newborn baby. Shooting 380, that means light recoil. So I shot it a little bit faster. That was the first one. And look at that. This is a 3-inch square. It's passable in terms of accuracy, obviously. It's inexpensive, a little big. But again, you get a lot lighter recoil impulse because of it. And another thing, the slide's really not that hard to rack. This is a straight blowback gun with a really big chunky slide on it that you can get a good grip on. What I'm driving at here is I think that this would be a good gun if you need something inexpensive to give mom or dad, you know, somebody maybe with limited hand strength. Maybe they want something light recoiling with a safety, because you do have a safety here in the Hi-Point, and you've got a very obvious dot whenever it's in fire. So very simple to use. The gun's easy to use. If you want something maybe to give your parents, or if you don't want to spend a lot of money and you want to commit a murder, then this is good for that too. Up. There we go. Damn it. Oh, that's unfortunate. You know, we've had perfect performance so far today. It's actually shot really well, and we had that one failure to feed. And I've got to say, any of the OG Hi-Points, I have never, ever, 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 ever had a problem with. So that was really disappointing because we were having a phenomenal run with this pistol. And I do have to mention, not cleaned or lubed before we started shooting it, and I haven't stopped to clean it or lube it. So, you know, could be break-in, could just be a normal consequence of the fact that this gun's not been lubricated. But I do have to mention, with the original Yeet Cannon 9, with the YC-9 review, we were having regular malfunctions. That's the only malfunction that we've had on this review copy so far today. Last round of the day. Last round of the day. God dang it. Hi-Point. There we go. Okay. So what do I say about the Hi-Point YC-380? Again, I like the features of the YC-380. I like what they did in terms of making it more aesthetic, more ergonomic, the grips being better, the slide serrations being better, the threaded barrel, the Picatinny rail, the better sights. Clearly, this gun can shoot. I can shoot this gun from 7 yards about as accurately as I can shoot guns that cost 4 or 5 times as much as the lowly YC-380. But mother, like, why can we not squeeze the same reliability out of the YC-380? How many rounds do we gain? I think it was 2 or something like that between the Yeet Cannon and the non-Yeet Cannon versions. And we're talking about this being like a 15+1 gun. I mean, it's certainly sized like a 15+1 gun, right? Then you're like, okay, that would be a worthy trade-off. However, I don't know if it's the magazines. I don't know what the deal is, but I have not gotten, this is the second Yeet Cannon that I have tested, and I've had these problems. Now, interestingly enough, and I don't know enough about the design of the JXP-10, that's the 10mm version Yeet Cannon, right? That one's still using the single stack magazines. We ran the piss out of that gun. That is, dollar for dollar, possibly the best 10mm handgun ever made. The Hi-Point JXP-10. I was blown away. It has all the Yeet Cannon features, and it's got all the C-Series reliability. I love Hi-Point. I love the people at Hi-Point. I want their guns to do well. And, you know, we only had two failures today. In this entire review session, we had two failures to feed where the round just couldn't make it all the way in, couldn't complete the deal. It's just unfortunate because I really wanted this gun to do well, and I wanted to say this is the best 380 that money can buy. But unfortunately, these are generally speaking good guns from really good people. What kind of labor pool are you working with in Ohio, right? And that probably is what it is. You know, that's got to be what it is. Guys, thank you so much for tuning into TFBTV. I appreciate it. Hi-Point, I appreciate you. Please don't be mad at me. I'll send this one back to you guys, and we'll see what happens.